Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question was suggested by a viewer, thanks to Roger Stewart for this one. Amy attacks with 2 Colossal Dreadmaws, and Nick blocks both of them with a spike-tailed Ceratops. How much damage does Nick take? How would the answer change if Amy played a spell that gave one of her Dreadmaws Death Touch before the damage was dealt? Okay, so we know that Trample lets you assign any excess damage to the opponent after assigning lethal damage to all of the blocking creatures. What's less well known but relevant here is that when determining what counts as lethal damage, you take into account any damage that's getting dealt at the same time from other sources. This means that Amy only has to assign 4 damage out of the 12 total to the Ceratops, and the rest could go to Nick. She could have each Dreadmaw deal 4 to Nick and 2 to the Ceratops, or she could have one deal all its damage to Nick and split the other one 2 to Nick and 4 to the blocker, or any other combination that resulted in 4 or more damage going to the spike-tailed Ceratops. Damage that's already on the blocking creature is likewise taken into account, which means that if Amy had played a lightning bolt against the Ceratops earlier that turn, that damage would still be on Nick's creature, and so she would only need to assign 1 damage from either of her Dreadmaws to the blocker, letting her assign the remaining 11 to Nick. Now, let's say Amy doesn't have a lightning bolt, but she does have a spell that can give one of her creatures Death Touch. This adds a little bit of complication because the dinosaurs are no longer fungible, but the resolution is still pretty straightforward. Recall that lethal damage takes into account damage that is dealt by other creatures at the same time, and that any amount of damage dealt by a Death Touch creature is considered lethal. Taken together, this means that any damage assignment that has at least 1 damage from the Death Touch Dreadmaw going on the Ceratops will be considered valid, meaning that the remaining 11 damage can all be directed at Nick. There are, of course, other assignments that would also be legal, but this is the one that deals the most damage to the opponent, so it's going to be the correct call 99% of the time. To check your understanding, you might wish to review all the other legal assignments in the comments. But that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again next time for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.